Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Official select board meeting Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 4 p.m. here, the town hall upstairs. Need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Budget discussion for 2026 and 27. And we have some requests presented from rescue and the fire department. You're not hiding at the list, so that's this.
Seemed like you're all. I was just, it was so quiet when I walked in. Alright. Thank you, Selectboard members, for your continued support of Rapid Rescue. Hopefully you folks have the budget financial report that I sent along to the board. Kind of bottom line up front, we're looking for a modest increase of $425 from the town for the 26-27 budget. And as part of that, we're relying more heavily on our donors to cover the difference of our expenses and that modest increase. Things have been going fairly well in terms of expenses. We've taken on a few new items. I've kind of made some footnotes so you could follow what we've been doing, but basically they fall into a couple of different categories. One is we invested in a Starlink satellite, mobile satellite communication system for the rescue, so we're able to make phone calls and access the internet on scene. That's proved to be a useful item. So that's a new thing that we've added to the budget. Well, we transitioned away from the town for our insurance needs to a company that specifically handles volunteer emergency services, VFIS. They're more expensive, and that's accounted for here in the new budget. And we've had last year we rescue contributed, as you're aware, probably we have an occupancy line item, so we essentially pay rent, if you will, to the fire department for our space, and that also is to contribute to things like utilities and so on. But every now and again we make we purchase something or make a contribution and try to even things out. So this past year, we made a donation to the fire department of $1,500 towards the battery backup system, which is now in place. So those were sort of the unusual items for 24-25, the year that just ended in June. But the budget for 26-27, as we have it there, sort of reflects business as normal with those things like this. On the back side, so the thing you care about most probably is the ask for the additional 425. On the back side is our balances of various accounts that we have. Just so you have visibility in that. You're probably aware that we have a new truck on order. We've been fortunate that folks who over the course of time have donated more than we needed for operating expenses. We take that money and basically salted it away into the quasi truck fund. So we're able to we think we're on the verge of being able to cover the new truck, which will come in at about $250,000, $250,000, and all said and done with the money that we have in hand, which is nice. And the final thing you see there is the calculation of the assessment across Grafton and Athens based on population. That's how we've arrived at the numbers that you see on the side. Can I answer any questions?
Steve, would you please state the total amount that you're asking for in 27?
$5,050, 5050.
Any other questions? Keith? Ron, you have anything? Keith, thank you very much for what you guys do. How many volunteers do you have now?
It's still around, that's the night. And somewhere active than the one is over, or somewhere active than others.
Yeah.
I think all people is the last one.
That's great.
You said the truck is on the back page? Or the new truck?
Yes.
The truck is, no, so the truck is reflected in the where it says analysis of accounts, there's a 2025 rescue truck, work in progress value. So that reflects the cost that we have on the truck, but the total truck cost is not anywhere on here, but basically, because we have a balance there of a total of 225, we've kind of covered the truck with all that. If there's an interest in the breakdown of the truck expenses, I'll be happy to share that with you, although we're not asking for any contribution towards others.
Let's just kind of fund that. Thank you.
Sure.
So with the new truck, do you hope to trade in or sell outright? Yeah.
You know, we haven't
About that.
really thought about it, you know, we're not thinking it's gonna be a major, as they turn out, right, so it's not gonna be a major. Contributor to the expenses one way or the other. We're not trading it in, so we would sell it outright, or repurpose it if the
Yeah,
fire department had interest.
Good. Good luck with that. I know the one that we did way back took a long time. So.
Yeah, no, it's been surprising how long it takes to get it done, so, thank you.
Do we need a motion on this or are we gonna just do it? Morgan,
We just work it into the budget.
work it into the budget, okay. Well, thanks so much.
And the fire department next.
Yes, Robbie?
Well, I wasn't as far as taking the speak Sundays.
I can pass. Also,
So this is, Friday for 26, 27, however they think that probably doesn't sound. As far as the actual operating budget, we kept it level funded this year from last year and previous 2 or 3 years, it's been like 4 years level funded now probably. So we've been able to do that because of donations and fundraisers. The one thing that we are asking for different this year is to go up on our truck fund donation, because that has been the same for the last 3 years. So we're asking for 1,500 more this year, to put it up to 18,500, which we're not doing anything the last 3 years. That is like an 8.8% increase. So if you figure 3% for cost of living over 3 years, that's 9%. So it's sort of after, that's how it came up with that number. And we say we're doing the same with that. It's, as far as our truck fund, we put, well, we got 17 from the town the last few years, but last year we put 50,000 of our own in there for fundraising stuff. That we're maybe a third of the way for the new truck, so we're gonna start a huge capital campaign thing next spring. And everything else is basically kind of the same as it has been the last few years, and. Of course, you get the pop-up things that you're not expecting here and there. That's about all I had unless there's any questions.
Does it show on here where the truck fund money is, or where did it come? The total amount?
The third
The
line.
total amount is not on this actually, because this is just a
Oh.
budget, but it will be on the balance sheet that comes for the town.
For the town report, okay, okay, that's.
It's not, because this is just the budget, so this doesn't have
Okay,
that. The truck fund at the top is just the yearly.
just you're asking, yeah.
Yeah, there's like, I think there's like 340 in there. Something. Well, maybe 350 now,
Okay,
but we put a bunch in the fidelity accounts to get it, that are giving like 5%, so we're getting as much interest on.
is there a percentage you use similar to the rescue to separate between Athens and Grafton?
What we did, the fire department did a little bit different than the rescue when we were asked to. Give a price to Athens. What we did was. The amount of calls that we do in Grafton. Divided by. The money that we asked for from the town, basically. So it came out to a percentage of calls,
Okay,
and then did Athens percentage of calls. And that was over a 3-year period of calls. And divided that by the, so basically. Athens has a fifth of the calls that Grafton does, so the numbers are all about. A fifth
okay.
What is the total amount that Athens contributes?
to the fire department,
44.
6,000 a year, and then they do. They've been doing 3,400 for the truck, and we're going to 37. So that 6,000 is around a fifth of it.
Well,
Where it was 29,950.
the 37 is not included in it, it's plus added to it.
Yes, so they actually would be 97. And the 37 is a fifth of the 18.5.
Yeah, so they're gonna contribute $300 towards your increase that you want.
Yes. And that, the $300 is a fifth of the 1,500, that's for.
Bobby, what is the total line item for the Grafton Fire Department? Is that 29,950?
Yes, for the operating budget, and 18.5 for the.
There it is.
That would include fuel and vehicle fuel, service and maintenance as part of that 29.
Well, yes, and. On the vehicle service, it says 12,000.
Yep.
So basically, the 10,000 from Grafton and 2,000 from Athens makes up that 12,000. But I
Okay,
guess that
alright.
10,000 is part of the 29. So basically. Where it says Grafton support, and Athens support, that is where those numbers at the top are broken up. So like, if there's not a number on those support items, then that is on us. That's from donations and stuff, like the repeater site maintenance, there's. The town is not supposed to keep that stuff on.
So for the fuel, Athens pays 2,000, and that's not part of the 29,950. The 10,000 is part of the 29.
Yeah, the 2,000 is out of that and 6,000.
Okay, alright. Alright, thank you.
So. Those numbers on the right hand side,
Right.
if we did it right, should add up to
Yep.
6,000.
They do,
And Well, they should, because there's a zero at the bottom.
Well, I just checked Grafton's, and Grafton's column adds to the 29.
Yeah, it's,
So I assume.
It has
that's-
to.
it's supposed to.
It's
If it didn't, there wouldn't be a zero at the bottom.
So can I ask a question? How come they don't do per capita when it comes to Grafton versus Athens for requests?
It was just the way that the fire department decided to do it, we couldn't do it that way.
That's a big discrepancy. As
We
far as-
based it on calls instead of per capita.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering, because it's still covering the same amount of people, they just happen to not have as many calls. I mean, they're
Well, it's
half,
not-
they're a little bit less, they're probably like 450 where we're.
Yeah, they're like three.
Does rescue do the same, if the rescue does it,
Rescue
is
did
that per
per
capita?
Right,
They do per capita, so you should see. So that's the 37% versus 63.
yeah, I was kind of curious.
It was just how we decided to come up with a price.
Hmm.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, Robbie. Thank you for all the guys that do what you have to do for safety in our town and Athens.
And that can always be adjusted. They didn't look and start going down.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just kind of curious as.
well, it would reduce the Grafton expenses if it, I mean, it would shift over a bit, because
Right. but we
percentage,
just-
yeah,
We decided to go on call volume
right,
because,
and I think that,
That's how you've been doing
yeah, since we.
For the last 2 years.
it? Oh, okay.
well, since you took over.
Just to figure out a price, we just decided to go on call volume because. It made sense to us for the fire department, I guess.
I would assume you'd have more calls, rescue calls for Athens rather than fire calls. Yeah. That makes sense in a way.
There's something that happened too.
Hmm, interesting.
That's nationwide. If you're not in the EMS, you're not gonna be a full-time firefighter.
Well, thank you both.
Uh,
Thank you both.
Thank you, guys.
you
Well, that would be a big shift that happens. A significant. Like $10,000 for them,
Yeah,
or so, roughly. If you went on the percent.
on that per capita like that, yeah.
Right.
Okay, number 3, discussion about purchase and removal of wood on a Chester Road property.
Should we go through the general?
Do the rest of the budget.
Sorry, I think I just wanted to move things around. What's the?
Or something.
The sheets. Where did we leave off?
Should we start right at the top, start at the general, start at salaries on page 1?
We can start right at the top where I filled everything in, okay? You want me to go through line item by line item? So we'll start with select board at the 5,000. And town administrator, I did a 3% at the 7.9.
Where'd it come to? 279.
57,900. Administrative officer, we had 1,000, but we spent 3,000, so we've decided to put 2,700. And we talked with Bill today. Further into this budget, there's a DRB charge of 700 that we had allocated to it. DRB really doesn't charge anything because Bill as administrator officer actually has been doing it, so we took the 700 from like the third page and brought it into the administrative officer and put it at 2,700, so when we get to it, you'll see there'll be a 0 for the DRB,
What's DRB? I'm sorry.
Development Review Board,
Okay.
and that's for subdivisions. And so going over with Bill, he was comfortable with 2,700.
Why wouldn't it be 1,700?
Why wouldn't it be 17? Because we spent 3,020 last year. So you kind of want
You
to,
just kind of help us understand what was in that 3,000 versus the 1,000 budgeted.
whenever he does flood zone administrating, so when somebody needs to know whether or not they're in the flood zone for building permits. Or if they need help determining with their attorneys and with the floodplain to get insurance, he works on that. He also did some DRB work in there. So
And that tripled the amount that he earned in 2020.
yeah. There's a lot going on with the flood zone right now. They're changing all the floodplains, all the maps are being redone. He's attended a lot of meetings on it.
It's also
With FEMA too.
because subdivisions are built into it, it's hard to estimate how many we may have. And he works with those too.
Are you saying the 700 for the DRV? And the
DRV
last
was
budget
not.
was not used?
Correct.
So
Right.
you brought it over into this number?
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna take it away from that part of the budget, and put it here.
Yeah, so actually it's going up 1,000. Not to
To 2,000.
1,700, it's actually going up 1,000,
Right,
whereas we spent 3 last year, we're only gonna put it at 2. Then we brought the DRB over to the 7.
27.
And could you just refresh our memory, please, on the hourly rate?
That I would have to look
It's
up.
either 40 or
He gets
50.
40, I think he gets
40.
40 an hour, yeah. That was right.
40 per
Yeah.
hour?
And some of that was that, he did a lot with the FEMA meetings. and-
FEMA's different because there's
That's done
another
in here.
section,
Okay.
there's another section in here for
Okay.
FEMA.
So is there, I mean, going over budget is, I mean, we can understand it,
Mhm.
the way you describe it, but ideally, even though this is only 1,000 and 3,000, it's still 3 times over budget, and it's sort of, how do we, can we going forward understand when this might be happening ahead of time, or?
Depends on who's gonna subdivide, who requires help with their flood insurance.
Okay.
We didn't know the floodplains were changing.
The property down by the store. I mean, we spent a lot of
Right.
time on that.
Yeah,
But,
The
the back out. in
the
the
house
back.
right next door, we spent a lot of.
the Ellis's, Patricia Ellis,
Okay.
when she was gonna try and change the bank. And don't forget, the
Oh.
DRB is built into that 3,000
No, that's-
also because
I-
the DRB was never used.
I
yeah.
guess I'm not, I think, I don't know, it's just, how do you monitor it? How do you know,
You
like,
don't.
ahead of time, you
I
just
think
don't,
not.
well, you know, along the way. I mean, should we know when we've used up?
I think you're doing quarterly numbers to us. right?
Yeah.
Quarterlies, we know,
It's
yeah.
We get a warning.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but percentage wise, it's, wow.
But
that's-
it's one of those things that's
Wow.
gonna be really hard because you don't know
You
who's gonna
don't know,
apply.
yeah, so we're.
How much time it's gonna take them. And I almost think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I might be, my years go so quickly, there was a pay increase, wasn't?
I don't think.
Cause I don't
Mhm.
think he was always $40 an hour.
But since he retired, he
What?
was.
When I started, but I should go back and look at this, but I think when I started, he went to a administrative officer, I think he's always been at the 40.
Yeah.
I think so
Especially the
too.
last 2
But
years,
There's
so
one,
that's this one of the years.
So who sets that hour rate? It's like.
He does, cause he's like the contractor.
But then ultimately the select board approves it.
Right.
but there was one was 40 and one was for 50.
50 is here.
He was for the fee.
FEMA, okay.
John, would you please say again the property that took so much time? Which one was?
Well, that was just an example, there was quite a
Yes,
few
yes,
of
I
them.
understand.
It's a Crawford house.
Oh, the Crawford House.
No, Patricia Ellis.
And that had a
Yeah.
flood founding problem, or,
It was on the
Sure.
Crawford house, first, that, well, I think. Well,
I'm just interested because the foundation also made quite a bit of investment in selling the Crawford House. I'm just wondering how that fits in.
There was a lot of work with the boundary line adjustment. When the boundary line from the Crawford House was adjusted. In relation to the greenhouse.
Greenhouse, and the attorney had to get involved
And
and
then in addition to that, also the subdivision with the Grafton Cheese Company. Was this spring as well.
You know, just for the select board consideration. When these commercial transactions involve a contracted person's time. There could be reimbursement on those if we had a way of filing. I mean, I think the select board should at least think about a way to be reimbursed if there is a purely commercial transaction. I mean, this isn't residents requiring help with their flood zoning.
Right, this is,
These are real estate transactions.
Right.
And-
That's a good point.
And people get charged for them.
right, that's
Closing.
the thing, yeah, that's what I, yeah, that's what.
Why
Well,
is the town paying?
exactly.
They should.
We've all kind of wondered that too, because it's, yeah,
We
it's the
think so.
service of the town, I
It
guess.
is.
Usually when you sell your property, when it comes to that, the seller takes care of that problem.
All those boundaries. and
Yes, not the town.
Did something change with subdivisions too? Do I remember seeing that somewhere? Because now we have somebody that's doing subdivisions, like when I was on the planning commission. The planning commission did the subdivision.
With the TRB, that's the
TRB.
fellow they review board,
TRB.
so.
So we had to go do the subdivisions and nobody got any money for doing that. So now we got one guy that's getting $40 an hour to do all kinds of work. It's just a question I have, that's all.
Yeah, I think the select board really needs to look into that because I think. Like the seller should be paying for that,
Right.
not the town. That's totally wrong.
What is this, yeah, and is this something we can look in, did something happen quite recently? Yeah,
And floodplain stuff, that should be on the homeowner, not the town.
I
right,
think
If
the
they wanna
flood,
have a house in the floodplain, that should be on them, not the town.
There's a lot involved in that stuff too, and I agree with you.
But what about the gravestones? We're paying for the gravestones too.
Well, you could take all those factors into consideration. if
Takes the
you
original.
decided to put it in.
say that again, Suzanne.
Well, I think to my mind, and I'm not suggesting anything here except that you look.
No, I agree,
Because I think you could make a distinction between homeowners who are residential taxpayers in the town and do have to get something done. Versus a purely commercial transaction that, as Dave says, the seller usually pays for. But that would be up to you. I'm just saying that what
No,
I
I
think
think
the
you gotta-
surface is.
no, I do too,
We need to look into this, especially at the
Mhm.
hourly rate that the person is earning. I think that might be one of the highest hourly rates we have. I'm not sure.
Are we sure that Bill received money for that?
Yeah.
That work on that house? This isn't just floodplain work.
yeah, and his timesheets are in detail, so he can
Okay.
say that.
Look at his
the other
time
thing-
sheets, and you'll see.
I know, we
We-
have talked about that.
We do collect a fee in the permitting process.
Yeah, but it don't cover nothing, what
It-
it's cost.
Probably does not cover, but that might be something we can increase is the
Mhm.
processing fee, for the permit.
I think
Is
you
the
need to
fee, Or
talk,
do you just have a line item for actual hours?
I just, in the general fund, there's a line item for permits, and so that'll take into account, for any subdivisions, weed permits. I don't break it out, it's not broken out for subdivisions, this is what we made for.
Yeah, I just think he submits a timesheet and it's got subdivisions for a property that either with a permit or separately, we invoice for.
So we can make line items separate for just.
Now, what if there's zero sum?
Yeah.
We could see what comes in, which I can still probably break out. By going through my,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen that often, so I could go through my
Mm.
deposit slips and find out.
We should probably tell them before we go, hey, this is.
Yeah. Just
See,
see
we
what,
don't really know that much about it, but we call Bill in and ask him about it before we make a hasty decision.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I would-
No, I don't think,
I
yeah.
was gonna say,
Say we're being
maybe
hasty.
or talk to the league or something about what is the proper procedure about the town going, charging, the town paying for it versus the people that own the land.
It's gonna vary by town and if they have zoning.
Yeah,
or
We
not.
don't have someone.
I mean, I can see a subdivision us covering, but the flood.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
think,
somebody else's property.
and the reason I think the planning commission used to, we don't get the volunteers anymore to be on these committees. And things have changed and the rulings are excruciating, they keep changing them and they're complicated. You've gotta have somebody that has knowledge on how to do the planning commissions and what rules you follow and.
I don't think any of us is suggesting that you make a decision on this right
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
now.
no.
No,
It's-
But
but
it's
it's just
something,
something that's come to light,
I think it's
So
important.
make sure that we
Budget to
research.
bring things to light.
So should we leave at 27?
Right, well,
For the,
In the
that's
moment.
administrative officer.
administrative
I don't think we
officer.
should put anything
I think, yeah, I don't think
until we call.
we have to sort of sort it out, I think.
Or I'm just doing the preliminaries, I'm just gonna put a question mark for
I
that.
think it gets a question mark, I agree with you.
I don't think the reserve, because there is work he does outside of that.
Oh, no, it's gonna be something, but also, I mean, as one goes along. Yes, I think we should put a question mark.
Yeah,
Without-
Put a question mark, but not
Yeah.
a zero. Okay.
No, it's not zero, it's a blank at this point.
Town treasurer, I left that at 29.4, just rounded it, that's all, I didn't do a 3%. I will skip that next
Why
year.
wouldn't you put a 3% in there?
I'm okay.
That's enough.
No, I don't. Town clerk, same thing, 34.7. Assistant treasurer clerk, I still left her at 15. Listers. 16,000. And there's a reason for that. So they spent 13,000 last year. Which is fine if you wanted to keep it at 13. They are now going to be required by the state. Each individual lister 49 extra hours of training. And we have 3 listers. At $16.36 a piece. Is what they make an hour.
Just,
So on top of their 13, we also have to add in the extra 49 hours a piece. And we're doing a reappraisal, so you can guarantee they're going to put in a lot more time with the grievances. So they were comfortable with the 16,000 and the 1636 is questionable. Sometime we may. Should I do a 3% on them? I did do a 3% on them, but they still think that's not very high. For the amount of responsibility they have.
So what's the figure, 16?
They get paid 16.36.
but the total for the FY
The
20
total
versus is
16,000 is what I've got.
Saying it's 1636 per hour.
You're gonna keep them at that.
I gave them a 3%,
Okay.
and that's where we get the 16,000 with the 49. Auditors. We spent 800, I kept them at 1,000. Those are our town auditors. Trustee of public funds, I kept that at 300. The constable,
Yeah,
I have that as 1,000 going across.
does that go to the sheriff? Is
Oh,
there-
it goes to
they
the
actually have
constable.
constable?
That's
have
my
a
Queensville, we have a
Yeah.
constable.
Okay,
So it's been 1,000 for as long as I know,
how much time to put in?
very little.
Can you go back to,
I don't know that, I don't know, that's up for you guys to question.
No, I
Usually-
didn't even know we have it, so.
Well, I don't know that-
I know it's mine.
We do, like if there's a skunk that someone can't get out of, or a bat, or a dead animal on the side of the road, we would call Mike.
Oh,
Dog bites, we used to call our constable, but now we tend to go to Ashley, our animal control officer, when there's dog bites. There is a dog bite, the health officer usually is more involved than the constable, but. So there's a little bit of responsibility, but we haven't had a call on them lately, we just don't know.
can,
Short-term
can
rental.
we just go back a minute, question on the assistant, town clerk and treasurer?
Yeah.
And you kept it 50, well, you increased it a little bit, is that the 3%? No,
I
didn't
did
increase it.
3%, I just rounded it up,
you didn't do any 3%.
no.
So no increase.
$14.
What's that?
She rounded off $14.
Yeah, I just rounded it to, instead of 34,645 on 34,7.
But the assistant is still
And I won't-
15 and 15.
And that's Michelle, right?
Yeah, that's Michelle.
So she doesn't get 3%? Has she ever
I
gotten
can
anything?
give, typically my assistant, I can give whatever, as long as I've worked within the 15,000, and I've been doing a 3% for her right along, and she's been able to stay within it.
Okay.
Where did I leave off?
Delinquent.
Delinquent tax.
Delinquent taxes. Again, I put 8,000 on delinquent taxes. The reason for that is in the revenue section, when I get to the revenue, we don't know what we're gonna end up with delinquent taxes or what she's gonna collect. I have to put revenue in the same as expense according to our auditors. I used to, like put 1,500 and then we're like, no, if you're gonna take in 8,000, then you're gonna expend 8,000. Keep it the same, and she averages about 8,000 a year. Health officer. We have 1,200 per health officer.
Why does the health officer get more than constable?
That was a decision that the board had made a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think it was Rich because of CIC,
CIC building.
yeah, all that work.
I don't know what that means.
And again, we have not had to call on the health officer, but maybe once.
I know that.
If that.
When Paul Allen was on it, we used it for a little bit, but now we don't use the health officer hardly at all.
Nope. So you're saying leave it at 12?
Well, if we got that grant for this water testing and the septic, might be a problem there that you're gonna use your health officer. If there's an issue, I don't know, I'm just saying.
So leave it at 12.
All right, just leave it.
Okay. Horsepower warden, we bumped that from 500 to 1,000, because last year you guys decided, or mid-year
Yeah,
decided to do the assistant
Oh, that's
also.
right.
Hemp, we don't do anything for. So then social security,
What was the grand total, please?
173,200, that's including 2,700 for the administrative officer. But it's a question mark. Social security is a 6.2% on the 173,200. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, it is on everybody. Because everybody up there has to have it taken out, it's 12,000.
But will that change based on whatever the administrative officer
Exactly,
is?
yeah, it'll tweak a little bit, I mean, 6.2 on 2,700 isn't gonna be much.
Right.
Medi, 1.4%, 1.45% on 173,200, so it's about 3,500.
I think I'm down.
So it's 3,500?
Yeah, 3,500.
It went down from last year.
We spent 3,000 last year.
Oh, spent.
So as you give increases, your Medi and your FICA.
Oh, last year's budget was 4.
Right, but we only used
Okay,
3,
gotcha.
yeah, this year, but we're. Health insurance, last year was 32,909. This year, we're up to 75.
Jesus.
And that's because we are taking on a family plan,
75.
75.
And that's gonna be the budget for.
75,000 we're talking?
Mhm.
That's split between June and I.
Yeah.
So that's me adding.
Because
to our
last,
family.
last year Morgan was a single. This
Oh, I
upcoming
see.
year,
Mm.
should be taking on a family plan.
This is also Nathaniel, didn't he come with us?
So that's in highway.
Oh, right.
This, we're just in our office.
Okay, gotcha.
Dental, we spent 875, so we put 1,000 and, knowing there'll probably be an increase. Retirement, I put that at 92 because we had to multiply times 7.5% of what the two of us are the only two there that get Reamers. When we do an increase, it goes up. Workers' comp, 1,700. Hopefully that's kind of a guess to me, cause I never can figure that one out. And the same with unemployment, we spent 244, I put 250. We skip experience modification, penalties. Childcare contribution, 0.44% on the 173, 200, so that's 800.
800, did you say?
Pardon?
800.
800. For a total of 103, 450.
Oh, and you left workers' comp on trade board.
Cause
Yeah.
we,
Next is ballot clerk compensation. We have a primary coming in 2026, August of 2026. So, I have 900 on that. We spent 898 last time. Town reports, 1,300 again. They've been really good and consistent. Grafton school report, I can take that off eventually. Other expenses, election grants, elections is 325. The reason why you're seeing that we spent 5,000 is because I took advantage of a grant. So the money came out of there, but the grant is sitting in the revenue. And I was able to buy a lot of new supplies.
So the 5,049 was a grant?
Some of it was at most, yeah, 3/4 of it was a grant. I got the printer,
Oh, that's right.
carrying cases and things.
Those sandwich boards.
Yeah, sandwich boards for voting, so I used up a 5,000 grant. Office supplies, kept that at 2,500. Postage, I'm putting it at 2,000. Even though postage keeps going up. Telephone, I have it at 3,000.
Thing was 3,300 last year.
Yeah, it was 33, but
Okay, so the-
that can, sometimes it depends on. I just took what our bill is and times it times 12. I don't know how much it fluctuates whether. There's something that. Copier, I kept that at 17. We spent 1551. Computer programs, I kept that at 8.
Are you gonna be getting new programs or do you have to do that every year?
Every year. Microsoft has to be renewed.
So it was 8,700 last year.
Yeah, there was a couple new add-ons in the computer programs, but looking at what I could. Bring through the file when it came to Microsoft and all of our emails, things like that, it still only comes to 8,000. Travel. We put that at 500, knowing the select board, new members like to go to the meetings.
the 1,100 seems. a lot from the 2025.
It was, but we had several board members that went to the,
Various
yeah,
events, gotcha.
I think I went to a few conferences.
yes, we went to, in which we hadn't been doing in quite some time.
Okay,
A lot of newbies. Dues, 300. That's usually like my VLCT dues, GMOA. Conferences, we kept that at 300. Dog expenses, I kept at 6. Preservation of records, that's
Or dog expenses, are those the registration?
the dog tags, and then I have to buy the paper perforation up in the middle of it. Preservation of records, that's a wash. I take money in from recording and then I buy supplies using it from the reserve, so I don't even count that. Fire
Have
alarm,
that at zero.
pardon?
Zero.
0, yes. The fire alarm and extinguisher. We put it at 500. It all depends on when we need new, fire extinguishers, plus they come in and inspect us on a yearly basis.
This is for the town hall, right?
Pardon?
The
Correct.
town building, here,
Yes.
not highway.
Not highway, highway has their own line for the same thing. COT system. That's for my reporting, that's 2,100. Animal control officer, we have it at 2,000, but there's a meeting coming up and we'll be able to finalize that probably after our next budget meeting. But Morgan and I left out at 2. Listers consultants. We put that at 8. Rather than 11,7. Computer,
Do they call in people for that?
yeah, we have, New England municipal consultants that come in and they roll over our grand list. He's also gonna be doing a lot of our,
We spent 9,200 already,
yeah,
This year.
yeah, this year, is it gonna be more than that?
They're working on the reappraisal.
yeah, I was gonna say they worked on the reappraisal so far.
So is 8,
Is that gonna be enough?
So of the 11,7, they spent 92,
so is the 8 for the 2027 enough?
2027. They'll be done with the reappraisal by then.
Okay.
By the time this starts, they're hoping to be done with the reappraisal by April,
Right.
and then this starts in July.
There.
So April of next year will be done?
This,
Of
the
2027.
coming April. So it'll be ready for this
I've
action.
already spent 92 out of 11.
Yep.
And instead of.
They had to do-
October and they're going till April. That doesn't-
It's a contract, we've got a contract with them too,
So we will be overspent.
but there's,
That's the thing.
but a lot of the reappraisal is done through a reserve that we get from the state. Yeah, we get money for each parcel from the state, and that's in our reserve, so they're gonna take that from the reserve and use that to pay for the reappraisal. And they will be short. Which they'll tell you, they'll probably be short about $4,000 from what we get from the state.
So now what is the number I lost track? 8,000?
8 years. Computer IT service. It's 11,500. The reason why it was 12 before is, any technical extra work that we need done, we did get some laptops, things like that, that they had to install. We're with a 3-year contract on the, Dominia Tech. And we were locked in for 3 years. We were up for renewal this year, and they did go up. So, should be locked in for the next 3 years. Cell phones, we have it at 1,000. Again. Liability, we kept it at the 18. Public official insurance, 25. Spent 2130 last year. Officers bonds has always been 100, never changes.
What is it again?
Officers bond, 100. But never
Oh, what
changes.
was the one before?
Public official insurance,
How much was it?
25.
25.
Nothing for Kidder Bridge.
Oh, is that what that is for the bridge? I was wondering why the line was in.
What, Kidder Bridge?
It says Kitterville Insurance, so that's for the bridge.
It's Kidder Hill Bridge.
Yeah.
Insurance, we decided not to insure it for the amount that we had it insured for. I wouldn't even,
It was crazy amount.
yeah, it was ridiculous. Advertising for the town. We took a shot and organized site 700, we'd leave it at.
Is that
That's kind of,
advertising all the RFPs and stuff like that?
Mhm. yeah,
Okay.
so you just never know what that's gonna be. Other professional services, we put that as 1,000. Zero on legal expenses, tax appeals. Fingers crossed, we're gonna keep that at a 0.
I'm sorry, which one's that?
Legal expenses for tax appeals.
Oh,
Keeping it at 5,000?
I left it at 0.
Oh,
See, at 1 year, we
Oh.
did have to,
I'm just.
they took us to a higher level, so we did have to get legal counsel for, tax
what is
appeals.
it?
So we had to have a line item for it. And
Oh,
that's separate.
sure.
I have legal expense at
What's the legal expense?
Legal expense is our,
5,000.
our town attorney.
Yeah.
And that's
so-
5,000? Again?
No, we put that at 8.
Oh,
Can I just pause
Sure.
for 1 second? On the Excel sheet, for some reason, the legal expense and tax appeals line item did not transfer.
yeah.
And
I might
so-
have missed it when they, cause it was a zero value, so. I'm
Oh,
looking at the
okay.
totals.
So I think we're on track. So now legal expense we had is 8,000. Is
Mhm.
that correct?
Yeah.
The tax bill was zero.
May I ask a question about legal expense?
Yeah.
So, as a member of the public, do you hear concerns, may I say frequently, about the response time of the town attorney and the quality of the work? And I'm just wondering what the arrangement is between the town and the town attorney.
That would be more.
We have a contract, do we have an hourly rate? Do we have an opportunity to put it out to bid and see if we get a better person? I
We
mean,
don't have an agreement with them.
Believe we have an agreement and an hourly rate set. But it's definitely something we can revisit.
I'm sorry.
It's something we can definitely revisit. We'll have to look at what the agreement says specifically.
I'm not sure about the agreement, but we've had some legal battles with boundary lines. On a couple where he's been called in. Some foundation work, he's been called in.
The pipe on the back street, that stuff.
Yeah, that pipe and also the one that's going across from the ball field.
And I needed to use it for legal counseling for the bonding.
Oh,
That's in there also.
So maybe there's work going on that he's good at, that's not brought up during the public meeting. I mean, not that it would be, I don't mean that the way it just sounded.
In all fairness, there has been concern about response time.
Mhm.
We've talked about it in various issues. Though I don't know if that's been addressed and improved upon, in the past couple of months. But we did have some concerns, so, I don't know what it feels, but.
I just think that, for example, with the experience we had with short-term rental. I mean, that just seemed to be postponed and part of the reason why the town attorney. I'm
No,
just wondering
no,
if there.
not this year,
the
not this year.
agreement out to bid like we do other.
There's not enough attorneys, then you're not, you can advertise it, you're not gonna get one.
That work with municipalities. You want
They're all
to,
booked right up.
yeah.
And, when we've called him, and if I've called him and Morgan has called, he has responded. And he has come to our meeting several times. And some of the, things that you have to wait on, it involves surveyors. And so everything doesn't line up all the time the way you want it. So we've had to wait, and we're still waiting, so.
Just a point of consideration on.
Exactly.
Going up.
Professional auditors, we kept that at the 25,000 and we put this year's at 25 because, they're in the process of completing our audit, but we also are figuring in this year, we need a single audit, which added 6,000 extra to the year we're in now. And because the Eastman wall, block wall is going to continue into the next fiscal year, we will need another single audit at 6,000. So for every $750,000 we take in from the Fed triggers us for a single audit. And it's above and beyond our normal professional audit.
So are you comfortable with the 25 going forward?
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with it,
Well,
but I
no.
guess I have no choice. But
I didn't do that.
security cameras, I have that at 100. Other town expenses, grants, you know, anything we might need, we kept a minimum of 500, it's just to have something there. I mean, we don't have to, if you don't want, obviously, we didn't use it last time. We'll skip the sewer study,
What's the total?
83.7.
Oh, nicely done.
So we skipped the sewer study. Even though we spent 46.4, that was from a grant. Park and rec. So. This is really kind of tricky because, this is actually a bid that goes out and it's a lump sum. And Michelle and I just take a percentage of the size of whatever the park is and divide it by the amount that we have to pay on a monthly basis for the contract. If that makes any sense. So this year, overall, I'm assuming we may have an increase. Like anybody else, wouldn't always bid the same amount for project, so I went from 51 to 53. The small amounts that are broken up are just amounts per part that we have to take a percentage of
So
to
you
equal the
mean
53.
the total for this section,
Yeah, the total for the section, so I put like, all right, so I did.
5,100 in the budget, but you think it's 5,150.
I mean, I can break it out like the swing hole, I put 1,400, that's what we spent.
Is that just for mowing?
Yes. 5,300 to mow these parts. So 14 for the swimming hole. 400 for the town green. Village Park, 18. Wilson Park, 400. Winnie Park, 800. Zeros for the next three, and then I come down to Village Park maintenance. Do we want to keep 500 for the maintenance of the village park? They didn't use anything last year.
What would you have in there?
500 for this year,
Yeah.
Did they use it?
keep 500 in there.
Did they use the 500? Not yet.
So because the park club volunteers are picking it.
I guess they said in case some stone or gravel might be needed for the
Right, but-
driveway, you guys had said to put in 500 last year and they didn't. They haven't used anything.
Still new,
I
just those.
I put 500, so keep it at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just to point to, so the mowing total minus the 500 would be at 4,800, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the total line item is 5,300.
So the village park structures, nothing.
No,
The-
no, because that there was, the building of the lean-to the learning center, and that was all with a grant. Even though we spent the 30,000, they had the grant for that. So there's no, I can't imagine we need to support that, and it's brand new.
Yeah,
Could be maintenance on that at some point, so if you leave that 500 in there, you have it in there.
You could use it for that too.
They have asked about that, that, little shack that's on the trail. being
Or the
started.
gazebo or
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
I thought they were gonna take that down.
what's that?
I thought they were gonna take that down.
what's the gazebo?
One,
There are two.
I want to keep it because it's not so long.
Yeah, it's
But I
not
think-
growing.
It's work.
Well, they didn't take over that, it's all made out of natural wood, it's like branches all together.
Well,
That's all we need to.
expensive. So we'll leave the 500.
On the maintenance.
Yeah.
And then I think they end up looking around some of the other stuff. So 5,300 on it.
Yeah. So cemeteries, labor benefits, those are zeros, because we no longer support that. Supplies of the cemeteries, we put 1,200.
What about, if we have that fence repaired at, the village cemetery?
Up to you guys, what you wanna change in that.
Well, I think there's gonna be a cost for materials.
I was wondering if that.
There's
was under
equipment and
contracted
supplies.
services.
There's a line for equipment and supplies down below.
Mhm.
Will we always sub that out, so it'd be under contractors?
Well, when the highway crew fixed the piece this year. I don't know where that is on the highway budget, it would have come out of there. Those materials
Well,
from that
the
whole
material-
last spring, am I right?
This is cemetery.
The cemetery, that's the 1105 was the supplies that we got at WW got all
I
that.
didn't know.
Well,
Yes.
but that's where they,
Mhm.
And you're saying
Yes.
1,200 for that.
yeah.
Okay, that's what that was, thank you.
Then the sexton, 1,500,
What is that?
that's Austin,
Okay.
he goes up in
It's fine.
yeah, he marks for the cornerstones, he helps people when they wanna purchase a cemetery and they pick out the plot and then I write up the deed. And then he assists in any burials. As to marking where they're gonna dig their holes. Equipment supplies. We're gonna leave that at a 0. So then the contracted services, that's for mowing them. We spent 29 last year. 29.3. The only reason why is because 53 of it was Mike Waysville, he fixed the stones. The other 24 was the contracted services to mow. So we're not gonna have somebody fixing the stones out of this year, but if we're gonna contract somebody to mow, I put 25.
I think you gotta
That
do
goes out
something.
to bid.
We let this out to bid.
Mhm.
This, the parts go out to bid, and this goes out to bid.
But in the bid, there's nothing about picking up branches, or if the fence post topples over or something like that, or a tree comes down, we have to hire somebody to do it.
Mhm.
So I think we gotta adjust that contract.
We had also, we had budgeted 16 because we did have someone that was a lower bid, so we based it on that. And then when we didn't get a lower bid, even though we had only budgeted 16, we still accepted a high bid.
What was their budget this year?
Well, it's,
It was
it
24.
was 24, it's a straight across. I think it's 24 this year
But
also.
I mean, if they're mowing and there's a branch, no way they don't pick up the branch, cause it's not in the contract.
Yeah,
Then
so
you
I
have to
agree we should
add-
update it.
Update the bid
Update
To include stuff.
Yeah, the bid policy.
and weed whacking around the stones and weed whacking around the fence.
Consider the duration of mowings too. The length of time in
Yeah.
between. I think that needs to be reworded too.
What's it been at?
Something of not
As
more
needed.
than, or less
So,
than once or
As needed,
something.
but minimum, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of-
Yeah,
It varies.
it needs to go over it again, for sure. But I put that at 25, so I guess that's up for discussion and.
You got billed for having the mow every time. Whether it was dry, they needed it or not.
But you could still do some walking and,
I think they did the weed whacking.
yeah.
So do you wanna leave that at 25? Do you wanna bring it down? What do you want to do?
You need it, what you need is a
Is that cover the
cemetery.
headstones we're gonna fix?
No, actually, speaking of headstones, I have a meeting Tuesday with a trustee of public funds. I've gotten a quote for those 7, large stones that Austin had,
Mhm.
identified. I passed them on to Fenton and Hennessy, and they do have 2 workers at Fenton and Hennessy that did come up to the cemeteries. There's 3 different cemeteries. They took a look at them all, gave me a quote of approximately $4,000 to fix them. Some of them are large enough, they have to take them back and do an epoxy to them. And actually repair the entire stone and clean them. There's a couple of them they can do right there on site. So I'm proposing to see if the trustee of public funds will agree to pay for that out of the sales of lots and graves. Right now, there's like 30,000 in the sales of lots and graves, people buy it. It just kind of sits there, so we might as well use it to go towards something like this.
Raise the prices of the lot so they can maintain the cemetery.
We did do that, we raised from 150 to 3, no, it used to be 50 to 150. And it's been 150 for quite a while.
Do you expect they'll approve that?
Pardon?
Do you expect that they'll approve that, the 4,000?
Yeah, I don't have a demo.
Would that be how we handle that in the future, or do you need that?
It depends, I mean, we don't wanna deplete the entire fund, so if we can handle it and we don't have that many, cause it's, again, it's gonna be something that you're just not gonna know and it's gonna be sporadic. I don't think we should be cleaning them. But cleaning's gonna come along with fixing these.
Full repair.
But if something is totally broken, yeah, we probably should, but as long as we spent 53 last year, we're gonna spend 4 this year. We're eventually gonna be able to keep up with it, and it will be smaller increments. As long as
Do we think we need a line item in the budget?
Eventually, I mean, I don't know,
Not right away.
I don't know if you would need to right now with the way things are going.
No, but they're gonna fix the ones that are doing.
What is the money that's in that used for then? Just to sit there?
Just to sit there, that's why I'm saying, let's just keep using that money as long as it doesn't get out of hand and just wipe it out entirely.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that money sitting there is for the cemeteries, it was, what is the purpose of it sitting there? If it's not being used for the cemeteries.
Well, it is, that's why I'm using it to fix stones. And I
Yes.
want to keep fixing the stones on a yearly basis, we just started this is the first time, I don't even know if Don's really done much of it, that's why there's so much last year. So.
Yeah,
we-
I'm sure there's one over in Burgess when we cut that stones laying flat right on the ground.
Yeah, he's been in Burgess Village, I have a
Yeah, I
list of
think-
them on my
I
phone.
think it was their day when we just haven't been using it, so now we're starting to use it.
Right.
And what is the legality of the town repairing stones? I mean, the town didn't purchase the stones, just people, the family purchased the stones, so they're their stones.
Right,
There's a lot
I
of
think it's
family
just
members
a
that
respect
run around.
and a respect from the town to.
Yeah, there are some of these stones, I don't
There's
know
no
if there's
family
any
left.
family remaining or people.
Well, there may not be, but I was just curious what the reality was.
It's an unusual.
I know Windsor doesn't do this.
Yeah, a lot of like the experience that it's on the family to either pay for a lifetime of service or upkeep.
A lot of towns will have volunteer committees going there. and-
Yeah, there's.
Which is a risk, but
Well, I
Some
mean,
churches
just
do
what you
that too.
said. I mean, obviously, you can't from people from however many years ago, but I mean, when you buy a lot,
Yeah,
you add on there.
you pay
For
for
an extra $500,
ordinarily.
you have lifetime stone repair or whatever.
It's
If
not a ton of,
It's not the town's responsibility.
it's not a ton of money either, because usually, if everybody, most people sign on for it, and they have the time of a death or something. And it's almost like, you're putting in some, it goes into a pool, and you pull from that for the. Or whatever, the sinking of stones and various things like that, but any other time. Of course, I mean, yeah, that just would be my experience. I have not had the experience where a town simply takes it on out of the goodness of the heart, which is, I understand, has been what's traditionally done here.
Well, if
Well,
it's a town
That
cemetery.
hadn't been, we're just starting.
No, I know, yeah, I'm just, the point, like, hear your point,
I'm
What-
not really.
but maybe practice is not even.
Great question.
What's that?
Why wouldn't the purchase of the lawn of the, and the stone include the maintenance?
Well, that's kind of where I figured the
That's what I-
sale of the
Yeah,
haunted
right.
graves is considered, yeah.
That's why I think we should be, fix it.
So that's it, that is in there, that if that's the case, then that's the case.
That's kind of how I looked at it,
It's not in there.
It's the-
It's lost, frankly.
I mean, our policy for the
We paid
cemetery.
money for that lot and for the stuff, so it's for something.
Well,
I mean,
it's buried a person.
You'll probably,
You're looking at spot.
you'll probably talk about it, where it's a recent stone and the families available.
I mean,
We could let them know.
you can look at it
You
this
know,
way.
these stones are not.
I paid money for my chunk of land, but if something goes wrong with the house, who I bought it from is not gonna fix it.
We'll have to look to see what our cemetery policy says.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
Is the income, where's the income from cemeteries, lots?
And I'm not, this is not any disrespect when I'm saying this, I'm just questioning. The reality is,
yeah, I don't know, I know people are always concerned about broken stones and this one doesn't look good and that one over.
I do think there's a civic bid, a little bit, something.
But if you pay X amount of dollars for the law, what is that money for?
It just.
Just for burial
That's
stuff.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Put that money in, it should be maintained.
It should be maintained, yeah.
That's what it's there for.
Well, that's why I said that's what we're,
Well, where is it?
No, it isn't.
It'll-
It should be.
it would never cover mulch.
So, but what you're saying is there's also a commission that authorizes how this is used.
Years and years ago, when interest was really good. They did have people that mowed the lawn using just the money from the trustee account that had accumulated, and it got to be. Too expensive and there wasn't enough interest money on the endowments that were in it.
Well, I
And that
understand,
even
but
put
that
us on
money
top.
still, that's still maintenance money for that. That's keeping up the cemetery, it's not necessarily personal stones, it's the fences around and the mowing and all that stuff, not personal stones.
Do
It's
you
just-
recall what the endowment balance is? I can't write off.
About 30, it's like 30,000. 30 or 32 in the cemetery lots and graves.
That's not in here,
No, trustee of public funds, I care,
okay,
I have balances of that.
If you've got 30,000 just sitting there for years,
Yeah.
you could have put it in the
You get insurance,
revolving
you get some of these
CD
stones,
to get some interest on it.
There's a big rate.
We can, but then I can't take money from it.
And then throw it
We have-
15.
For reasons like this.
Everybody's-
Yeah, but
There's 30,000 in there and it costs you even 4,000 or 5,000 a year to fix some stuff and it ain't gonna be.
It's not gonna last very long.
No, but it's there to fix the stones.
But you're selling additional lots and that's, I mean, this is the wall, right?
We were selling quite a few for a while and it's slowed down lately.
Yeah.
Of course,
So
our population
there is
is well now.
some income that's not there.
We can always up the price. of
Well, aren't they all
lots.
full?
yeah, I was gonna
No,
say, I thought we couldn't get one anyway.
no, Houghtonville still has quite a bit, that new section. So we're still good there, and there's very few in some of the others, just a few lots here and there. But,
And then the new land,
yeah, then there's the land if we do something with that, and we could always, you can always up the price of the. The lots, they're 150 for residents, 300 for non-residents, which is quite cheap, everybody says.
Sorry, I didn't.
probably up to
What, so how well do you think that would be accepted? I mean, you think you'd be a lot of pushback if you upped it to 200 or something like that?
I don't think so. Cause I think they already think the 150s. And not to mention the 150 that they're paying for one grave lot, you put 3 cremations in one grave lot.
You have a lot
Or you
there
could
north
put-
of Houston, we're talking thousands.
Exactly,
And that's-
California,
that's-
California's thousands, you know, Connecticut,
that's insane.
yeah, it's insane, and we're 150. And you could put 3 people in one lot for 150. Or you could have one full burial, maybe cremations in one.
So,
That would just get buried up.
I know a guy that was charging 1,000 for that.
So, you know, that's something to revisit the policy and.
People would pay.
yeah, you should call the.
Need to move on.
Some kind of $1,000 person.
So can I just come back to, if we fix the fence at the village cemetery, where do we put the additional cost? Is it on contractor services or supplies and equipment?
Yeah, it's gonna go into, the supplies. The sexton, so we're gonna do supplies / cemetery,
The third one,
and it's gonna be 1,200.
Is that gonna be enough?
Well, I don't know anything about fencing.
But the town needs it, but if the contractor is were to fix it, it'd be a lot more.
All I can say is if the town does it, they'll have to go buy a table saw, then chop saw, because we borrowed them before. If we wanna do it, we should borrow them.
I didn't hear you, Dave.
I said we borrowed the stuff last time to rip
Oh,
the
to
fence
rip
in
the
and cut the fence in. So. You'll have to spend find some tools.
this table saw down by yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, there is.
Good for this. There's lots of stuff.
Oh, there's a chop saw.
So
Right,
can
might
we,
be a deal.
There's some little tables.
can we put 1,700?
They won't take a credit card though.
Oh, there you go.
We'll donate them to the town if they want.
No, that's good.
See if the fund side.
So can we increase that by 500, like 1,700 or 1,600 for the supplies? Cause I really feel that fence should be done.
And just a reminder, this budget starts July of next year.
So we have the
So I
50.
got 1,500. And just,
So we've been raising supplies such as 17.
I thought it was a 12.
Is that
I
what-
had it at 12, but
12, but Morgan's Point, we wouldn't use it until the following year, so it's not gonna make a difference. Keep it at 12, I guess.
What about for contractor services, where are we coming on?
yeah, what did you guys decide on that? That goes out to bid, what do you want? What are you hoping a bid's gonna come back in at?
I'm at 28. Gonna ask more stuff.
Well, that's what.
It's a lot.
For
You're
limb
able
cleanup,
to do
limb
five
cleanup and
months.
trees that are.
Seems
It's kind of hard for them to see how much it's going to be, loose the
Seems like a
limbs.
lot of money.
it's a ton of money. So it was 6.
There's 5 cemeteries and only one. There's only 5 and
What
one.
you should be working on is trying to find a cemetery agent.
And what are they gonna do? Tell us what to do?
No, it'd be like John Lawrence, Nick and Waldo that took care of the cemetery, then you wouldn't have this, maybe so much bidding it out and stuff.
Well, you might come out about the same by the time you do the hourly
Might.
for them and then the workers' comp and then like the Betty.
You might have that.
So what did John do? Did he
He was
get
hourly.
people to mow?
He had,
What this is not what you got in that contract.
he had Walter and Jim, his brother, and Don, and they worked hourly. And then we covered we had to pay the workers' comp, which they're high because they're treated like highway,
Mhm.
the type of work they did. And that's why when we decided to go contractor, it did start out with a lower
Mhm. Yeah,
amount because it was
14,000.
gonna save us money,
But it was twice
here,
that.
but it's crept up.
Also,
will we have a cemetery committee? I mean, who could look into these issues and compare and come back to the select board with a proposal or?
It's okay.
Yep, it's me and John. She and I, so we can look into that,
Yeah.
speaking versus.
I don't think you're gonna find it, I mean, we
Yeah,
advertised before.
things have changed where it used to be, I mean, Don was fiercely protective of the cemetery. And he would hang out there, that's where you could find him. It was a different,
It's just spinning wheels, so don't come up with anything.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, it sounds like we should just go for the 25,000 if we don't think we have an alternative.
Yeah, I think so.
But we
Well, we
need to change the contract.
or we might wanna add limb pickup and cleanup, which they don't do, they just leave it there and come more around it, so.
They do cleanup.
Yeah, some piles were left, they weren't picked up,
I don't know.
so we can revisit the contract.
We're at 29.3 last year.
That's because, Mike Waitsfield was in there for the stones, which got reimbursed by the trustee of public funds on the other end. But
So,
because he didn't have workers' comp, we paid him through the town.
so last year at 16, but this year at 25,
16
or
was.
whatever this year.
Right, because the people
was
who
the
did
year
it
ago.
previously were so low
It was
that
16.
we kept it low, assuming we were
Gotcha.
gonna get multiple bids and we did
And
not.
he never came back to bid. The one that did the 16 last time.
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
Okay,
So are we leaving it at 25 for now?
yeah,
Well,
Or
maybe.
question mark? Okay.
I think we should look at the contract.
yeah, redo the contract, specifics.
So that category is in the 27.7. Okay. So then we're on to VLCT dues. 2,000. County tax, I put it 16. Paying service fees, that's a 0. Don't have any. Street lights, 1,500.
That,
Are those
that
gonna be
maintenance
painted?
for electricity?
No,
Are they gonna be what?
there's a couple of
That's
that need to be
electricity.
painted, did that happen or not? Yeah, I know we
I have
mentioned it.
no idea, I hadn't heard anything about them being painting.
With painting the street lights?
We've talked about
What's
it.
the cost go to, the electricity?
That's electricity.
That, yeah, I was gonna say, this
Oh,
is,
it's
this is just electricity.
Their
Sorry.
streetlights were in the, overall list of projects for maintenance.
They are not solar.
They were in there for maintenance.
They are,
Yeah.
well,
Where's
they were
the-
approved because they're, they're not solar, but they're now
LED.
LEDs, which comes just.
Yeah, I cut it quite a bit. The public library, I left that at 95 until we hear different. I think she's giving her presentation
They'll be at the next meeting,
next week.
The next select board meeting or next budget?
next select board meeting on the 20th.
Okay.
Planning commission, we left that at 500. They didn't use it last year, but
They are meeting on Tuesday, so if they haven't updated number, I'll let you
so
know.
we may know on them different, so. Development review board, this is where we zeroed that out. I had 700, but I moved it.
Right.
And, Bill was fine with it. Wyndham Regional, that's our yearly dues, I put 17 on that. Emergency management, that's the generator, I have 1,500.
Those,
So it's so high at 7.9 because our work on the hazard mitigation plan is
Okay.
built into that, which is done for a grant.
Yeah.
right, so 15,
15, yeah. Hydrant snow removal, that's a 0, the road crew is taking that on. Reappraisal again is a 0, because that comes out of. Reserve mutual aid. I bumped it to 18, we had it 16.8, we never know what that is. going to be, but I think what did we figure, what percentage did you nine?
You know, I
Yeah,
figured out last year what we thought about.
it was 17.6 last year.
Can I ask a question about the hydrants?
Mhm.
You just mentioned that.
Yeah.
It was a little over a year ago when I came to a select board meeting and asked about dredging the fire pond.
Right.
And it was all, well, we don't have money for that. I said, I realized that, that's why I was saying, I was here in the summer because the budget was gonna be worked on last fall. And I don't believe anything was done with that, so now we're in another budget cycle, so maybe.
They have it.
You.
They have it in
put it
there.
Do we know that it needs to be dredged? I mean, we should.
There's a bunch of trees and everything growing on the
Pretty
side
good
of it,
guess.
so I would
We
assume
had-
so.
we had it
I don't-
moved.
We did.
Pretty sure it's been since like the, well, Dave Hall was at that meeting, and he said that Rob Hall's at the event since early nineties, so.
When did it blow out? What year was that? It let loose.
They never let loose.
We never let loose.
No, it was the road that went down to that washed out.
They're all good.
Mhm.
We had
That
talked
was
about.
all I read. And that there's no.
I did it before, I did it twice, and then they mitigated the road, and that, they went up there, Rob Hall, behind the pond and fixed it all. Wires, it was a mess.
Honestly, I don't really know on this.
Yeah, no, I think we should check it out. I don't know if. Yeah, we talked about an option of having a diver or even a camera to decide, does it need it?
You should, because it's part of the maintenance of the town.
Yeah.
Well, we put
No.
together this packet and it's within that and we have estimates.
That was my question, was if it was gonna be talked about.
So we worked on it all summer and we've got an estimate for doing it.
And what line item is it gonna go in when it finally gets this, when it's not finally, when it does get decided?
Don't know yet.
What line item, where's that money gonna come from? We've kind of
Well,
talked about how.
I think we should approach Hardy and ask if it should be in the capital budget. I was gonna do that, but he's not scheduling a meeting until November sometime, so.
There's also a fund for either maintenance stuff too, right?
Yeah, it's got 25,000 in it.
If you're gonna dredge it, it's nothing that we can do in 1 year because you can't raise that amount of money. It's gonna have to be over a period of years. And maybe he'll put
Well,
it,
that's why I was bringing it up, so we could figure out how to do.
Any grants out there?
I
Could there
So
be any
the
grants out there?
don't know.
Something to
It
do
might
with
be.
fire protection?
Might be.
There's that rural fire protection thing going up some,
Yeah, they were for dry hydrants, right?
right, but then
Might be worth asking, we give $100 if we
there
grant.
might be something in there for that, I don't know.
And where does 25,000 come from?
The Wyndham Foundation gave that years ago and it's in a CD.
When
A
they
long
finally-
time, like,
when they finally gave it to us.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, when
that's,
they put it in, then said, here, you can have it now. Like, thank you.
so that's not enough for dredging, but it might be for hydrant maintenance.
Yeah, because most of the hydrants have been replaced, it was. The only one that hasn't been replaced is the one right up to the pond. All the other ones are fairly new, they've all been updated.
Is that on the hydrants, do you flush them
Yeah,
periodically?
and we flushed them this spring and we're being a little bit more proactive about it, and
Mhm.
Nathaniel was going around the other day, something to do, he did a bunch of them. To do them like twice a year, so they don't get so
Lava.
nasty.
But there's one right up pond, is that a dry hydrant or? a ground?
No, it's,
So it's probably, this wasn't.
Is that, so
But
you do
even
that one
though-
too, right?
I mean, even though they are newer and have been replaced, there's a lot of them that could be repainted now, or they're just gonna rust out, so like that maintenance money.
that's something Walter used to do, he used to paint the hydrants and the flagpoles. Even, he used to do it for the Wyndham Foundation, then when we got him, he still did it, so.
So is this the highway thing?
Yeah.
Is this something for the highway to do?
Good work there.
Painting.
Painting the hydrants?
it's just part of the maintenance system where you'll be replacing faster,
Mhm.
rust out.
So it means you have to hire a contractor,
What?
paint hydrant.
Take the hydrant?
Mhm.
Sure.
Maintenance.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, I use a spray can and I'll do a couple.
Well, you gotta,
It seems like a good use for that fund. Preventative maintenance.
We are.
Or you can just leave them and let them, but you'll replace them all, that's all. It's no different change in oil on vehicle.
Yeah. I spent a lot of years on hospital.
well, I think it's a good point that you're bringing it up. It's maintenance. We wanna do preventative maintenance. We don't wanna spend any more extra money down the road.
So it's in a CD when does that mature? Is that like a yearly?
I'd have to look at it, yeah.
Yeah. So we should probably look at when it matures and look at doing some hydrant maintenance and then reinvest
Mhm.
in a CD with what's left.
There's money in there, so.
Yeah. Do a bit, painting and one hydrant replacement, maybe. The one that didn't get done. Me, doing things like painting, make them last long, these things are more sense than replacing them.
Yeah, 100%. Just the time, and we make them all pretty good at it, just the time to do that, or
I'll make a note.
let's, they can bring it up in our next.
$24,610 is in the hydrant reserve maintenance, so.
4,600.
That's not.
Yeah,
nothing.
24,610.
Cause I forget how many hydrants there are, they all got replacement,
There's
there's
like 16.
And the reason why there's not 25 is because you did a repair of the one over by the homestead or something. It was-
Where's
Got
that?
one that's blocked.
Look at my house.
That's a fire.
It was found, yeah.
You can't use it.
I don't know, but
Can't
But
use
it's part of.
See,
see now, my ears are
Yeah.
blocking up.
yeah, but it was. They had two lines go across the road, but the homestead first smaller hoses, not that inches up to the hill, so it was the one thing.
And making it.
I have a question.
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
There's a sprinkler system in. The nature which is having the,
Mhm.
the ability to contribute everything.
Or not.
Remember the guy who put it in there.
Well, we talked about that with the foundation and
Mhm.
like,
Well, the Liquid Foundation may be grandfather because they paid for them for years, but. Or,
still got maintenance on it though.
right, I understand that, but.
They put them in, but now it's up to the town to maintain them.
Yeah, we just want.
Well, they-
Because they gave to the town, but the Nature Museum has a sprinkler system in there, all from the same system.
So then it's, they should get.
Well, other towns, when you're on town water, then you pay for
You pay
it.
for
I think that's something the board needs to look into is both places that are tied to it because they're benefiting
Mhm.
because of their occupancy and their insurance is a lot cheaper because they got a sprinkler system. And if they don't have a sprinkler system, I don't think they could have.
I don't think that it
Yes.
certainly could not without a sprinkler.
I'm not saying, go all,
No, reasonable amount that.
Yeah, so it helps offset the cost of maintaining the system to keep it up. Because the town is sort of liable for it, if it don't work for them, I guarantee you that they'll come after you.
Yeah.
So,
Can it in operate without the hydrant system?
no,
No,
Can we just talk about this?
a while ago, when they
we
went wrong.
talked about it, yeah, we've talked about this more than.
It never went
A couple
anywhere.
months.
If we had other legal documentation.
And I don't think we were liable for it, as we said, but.
But they should be billed yearly, monthly. Something.
Yeah, I think
Annual contribution.
maybe a reasonable annual. Contribution is reasonable.
I think so too.
And it doesn't have to be something that soaks them, it is too steep, so enough to cover some routine maintenance.
Yeah,
And,
And the Nature Museum is exempt tax free too.
Really?
So we don't tax them, yeah.
Well, they're
a 501c. And they're a nonprofit, so we have about 4 or 5 or 5 of them, I think, that, we exclude the taxes.
It includes the foundation, the 501c3 also.
But they fall under a different kind of a category, so they still pay taxes. But the Historical Society, the Nature Museum, the Fire Department,
Their meeting house, the community church.
they don't even count those as 501(c)(3)s.
I know, I thought you were listing.
Library?
No, GIA,
We're not
Okay.
profit.
Oh, like
the Grafton Improvement Association,
No, I know what it is, but for what? For
Their
their ball
land.
field, for their land?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we pay for the
because they don't have
taxes.
structure, do
No, but we pay their land taxes.
they? Right, I know.
Their education through our local agreement. I think there's one more that we now have. Yeah, Brick Meeting House was the last one that was added. So those are the 5 that we exempted. And yeah, the churches, they don't even consider them as part of having to apply every 5 years for a nonprofit. That's what we vote on every 5 years.
GIA is nonprofit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid was our last one at 18, the sheriff. We have it at 12.6.
I would keep it at 12.6 until we hear otherwise. I'm hoping to hear back from the sheriff soon.
I haven't seen it much lately.
I saw somebody driving today, but I don't know if they got all the way here, they were over in
I was
Saxon.
there in Cambridgeport a couple days ago.
Cornet BN 300. Tax maps 1400. Professional appraisers, I left that at 0. Because that's built into the other part of listers, consultants.
What do we put down for library?
Library, we left it at 95 until we hear otherwise. So that's a total of 65,000. Town hall supplies, we put that at 900. Insurance, 3,000. Heat, so this is a tricky one, we have 0 from last year because we've been carrying us credit. For the last 3 years with James, we had a $7,000 credit. This is our first year that we have no credit, but we're complete heat pumps, so we put 1,000 down. So it's gonna be a trial and error this year. Electricity, we put 3,300.
I'm sorry, where do you have heat?
1,000.
Heat, we put 1,000.
Okay.
Electricity, 3,300, spent 31, so. Cameras. We put 0, that was to purchase our cameras, and we have,
The
the
subscription.
subscriptions on the other side, on another page, so that's a 0. Town hall repair and maintenance, we put 6,000, we spent 59,53.
Have you thought about, any updates on the town hall with painting outside, and there's some rot that's going on in the eaves somewhere?
On that corner.
Is that gonna be enough? If an increase at 6,000?
That would be within the 6,000,
Okay.
if it needs to be more, or
We can adjust that if that's where it would come out, I guess.
Mhm.
Town hall restoration, that's an older line, and, town hall handicap, that's an old line. And snow removal, those are all 0s.
Where's the fire escape thing? Come in.
Got
The capital budget, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you told me. In case I want to leave. I'll be the first one.
Janitor, oh, I left that at 20,
Yeah.
2008.
22,000 or?
unless we wanna give them an increase.
2,080.
So that's 162.80 for that line.
I mean, 16,280.
Oh, 16,280, sorry. It's not there per page.
That cleaner is getting rich.
We're almost there,
Debt services, payment on principal is always, I went 53,334. That's for the principal on our town garage. That would be up in 2030. The interest expense on the town garage, 5,600.
That's decrease.
Yeah. Walker Bridge. So Walker Bridge, actually comes out between the $45,000 principal plus the 2 interest payments. And the first year is gonna come to 68,213. So that's a total of 127, 147 for our debt services.
Can I say that again, 127, what?
127, 147.
What was the Walker Bridge movement?
68,213.
And that's using the schedule they had given me.
And will the 45 go away?
In
And it'll
15 years.
Oh, you still have, I see.
So 45,000 is our principal, kind of like the 53,334, we paid that for 15 years, and then the interest twice a year.
Thank you, I misunderstood that, thank you.
And we're making our first payment here in another week, this week. Ambulance service, we left it at 9. It has been that for many years. Grafton Fire Department. 29,950. Fire truck, I had put at 18,500. Rescue 50/50. Humanitarians 12,231. And just so you know, we've had like 3 new requests for humanitarians, so be prepared. So we'll have new articles. People are asking for money left and right.
So what is it, 20?
12,230.
Oh, same.
Those are that's the same ones that we've been doing, but like I said, we've had 3 requests so far. So that total is 73,231. And I get a total, so if you guys equal 677,533.
What was your total for the last little section?
Yeah, I got a different total.
73,231,
I got 73,730.
Me too.
Me too.
731.
So you want to throw down the list real quick?
So is rescue 5,050 or 5,500?
5050.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's 281. Fire truck,
Oh, my missing.
18,500.
Okay, so-
18,555.
Fire truck, 29,50.
And then 0.
And then 9,000. Yeah, I guess.
74,731, yeah,
Okay.
74 what, 3,
74,
74?
731.
Good.
And what was the grand total now? That's six-
I gotta add those up. Did you get a grand total of all the categories?
Alright.
I can listen to it.
An administrative officer, but if that was to be at 27.
Yeah, that's the one that I left at 2,700, but did you leave that as
I
zero?
left them in there. I left them in there with a question mark until we otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave them until,
So here,
So with that in there, my total going to
That's 680,017,35.
670.
we have 679,033. That's what I have.
What is it,
679,033.
So I was asking about that 27.
I put the 2,700 back in.
What?
That,
Town treasurer? Is that, are you gonna read it down there? Yep. Okay. Confirms, administrative 57 months. 5,000.
679,023.
yeah, that's fair.
679,033
Yep.
plus Howard's.
Yep.
9,1.
How much is that compared to?
1,500.
Last year,
So is that section 2?
there, hold on.
Now say that's
Here's the
it.
audit.
You adding the highway and then getting the
Yes.
branch
What did I
info.
just
Yeah, you
do?
don't want
I do want to know.
I
Nice,
don't.
I didn't, I.
It's 1,591.
How does it compare? That's,
Nine
so
times
I need to- I'm not going to say cost.
Sorry, 34 something.
8,3.
15,000.
Eight.
16.
Four.
8.
Oh, 7.
My God. Million.
So that's.
Here. Oh, I'm in the world.
Divided by.
She doing?
0,
We
7,
have to do
3,
the
3.
highway too.
Yeah,
Be over a million.
It's a 7.72.
Okay.
7.73 increase.
Okay, here it goes.
Each 7 to each 10. Well, she wrote.
What did you get? Kim, what did you get?
For a grand total with highway and.
Yeah,
I got
Are you missing one? Look at your.
1,591.
So in this.
83.
So you're.
And
at 7.
subtract it from last year's budget,
Oh, that's right.
divided by last year's
Oh,
budget,
I-21.
times 100 is a 7.729 increase. Overall, for the whole budget.
What is your?
7.29.
7.7.
7.729. So you might as well 7.73.
So it's 1.68% increase. In a big number.
It'd be big numbers, yeah, you're really lucky this time. Come on.
We
it's
were-
not-
It's the other way.
We were gonna go the other way. So exactly, let's not go with 10%.
7.73% increase
Something goofy is going on about formula.
total,
Say it again?
with that's with highway and.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Is that for-
What insurance is what we go to.
That's good. I don't know.
And just to add,
And insurance.
if we don't get
I
the,
don't have that.
fire bond budget in the capital budget, that's gonna add to this.
Well, it depends on how you wanna do it, I mean, there's no way you're gonna be able to budget $75,000 to all at once.
No, the 20 or over 1.6.
Well, like I say, we can get through another 5 years to start putting in the 200.
Is that one for the draft and rescue thing? I didn't have it. I'm buried behind.
It's a very,
Good.
Good, I got my,
Thank you.
I got my rock on it.
that was,
I got.
oh, that's.
All right, master.
Got that 573.
Okay, are we have to, we move this. We have more agenda. Thank you, Kim.
We're spending a lot of money, but
It's not without a lot of thought.
not without a lot of.
That's weird.
Should we discuss the?
Removal of the summer beach.
We got a great fire department and we got a great.
We got a motion, we need to stick to it. Okay, thanks everybody for the budget, work. Thank you, Kim. It's a lot of work.
Let me ask a question, yeah.
Any
Did we
questions?
put in anything in the fire pond for mowing?
Yeah, we
That's
did.
part of,
We paid 700 this year.
that's
I know we
part
paid
of the
it. We
park.
paid it for next year.
Oh, no, we did not. You mean for the brush hogging like we paid for 775? No,
So you have
So
more.
I need to put that in.
And may I outside of the process question? And I really, Kim, I'm gonna do this in a public meeting. I wanted to say, because Kim is an elected official, does she get to name her own salary, or does she get to be considered for a 3% increase like everybody else? Is that a select board decision, or is that a Kim decision?
it's a nice.
It's been a Kim
Okay,
yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
If she's elected, she gets to put her funds what it is, and the town votes on it. If
Okay,
the town votes on it, she gets her. raise.
I,
Those are-
Yeah.
It's pretty-
I'm putting this in that we need to put a line item for the fire pump,
But I did have it, just,
So.
There will be some adjustments, so we'll have to put that,
Anything in the fire department?
well, we have to do that.
Oh, it.
Where is it? Put that.
Huh?
Where do you put that?
That was to the line item.
Oh, there's some If we get out.
There were hydrant maintenance, is it mowing or is it in the maintenance fire, where the hydrant maintenance line is, that area? I don't know if that,
Well, you're supposed to keep, for maintenance, for the hydrants, you're supposed to keep that whole water area clear.
right, meaning that's the area in the
Yeah.
budget, it would, the line item would go in right near that, does that make sense?
So if you don't take anything, or put anything in, you take it out of that money that you have.
we're at the 24.
The other one would,
Archie's real fast, we're gonna discuss them.
what about, say, contracted services?
Well, it might not be so much if you mow it every year either, it might be 400 bucks, 500 bucks.
As I say, that's what they usually say, it's cheaper to keep it on every year, it's when you
I
don't.
did do a good job, I went up and looked at it. It's definitely-
Well, they won't be mowing all the trees, so. They're up. Keep that.
Did they cut those small trees?
They're up. Yeah.
Very clean.
Could we
Yeah.
change the hydrant snow removal line item to a different title?
I can definitely change one of them, it just depends on what category you wanna put it into. I guess it doesn't, it's not
Doesn't
really
matter.
a part,
Maintenance for the fire department.
yeah. We'll just have to put it under the, regular,
What
well,
if
it's
you?
not an operating expense either.
Put it under all maintenance item system.
What about,
Hydrant and.
where the hydrants
Other,
are,
so other town expenses, we have the snow removal, we can put it in there. Instead.
That's what I was thinking.
well, can we
Because
rename it?
Did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
rename it?
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna put it in that line, I'll use that account number.
Can we do?
What page is that
hydrant
on?
maintenance? And then graduating fire fund is in.
That-
Don't have an item for fire hydrant.
Well, that's where I put it.
That's what I put it for the fire hydrant.
We don't have,
And really.
We have fire
Come
hydrant.
out with
we
fire.
have, under yours.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna run out.
No, there was,
That was where we used to.
It wasn't, yes.
The one over there is struggling, the hydrant.
Right, so it would have to go on there.
Wasn't there a maintenance for the?
there was maintenance in it here.
It was on the highway.
It's on the highway section,
Yeah.
so I can add it into the highway. What I'm saying, I'm looking into general, but.
I
if
thought
that's
there
what
was
you guys are
some in
finding with the
general.
rec Stuff, I can go into,
Didn't we just talk about?
How about it's under other town expenses, hydrant snow removal? It's like the, I don't know, two.
item for hydrant maintenance?
It's hydrant snow removal, if we change it to hydrant
No,
maintenance.
there's hydrant repairs in the, but it's.
What page?
I'm on page 3 of 6.
I mean.
It should be hydrant repairs.
Okay, it's on page 5, hydrant repairs has 0, so we can add 770. So we can
just change the title of it.
I changed it to maintenance.
Maybe.
System maintenance, mowing.
So it's under,
all the repairs is same idea.
Oh, then wait, so go to the capital.
I would add 1,000 only because you're gonna paint those.
Did you find it?
What?
Put 1,000 in.
Each.
Yeah,
Yeah, I found it there, but there's also hydrant stone a little earlier.
All right,
I mean,
so did everybody hear that, page 5?
yeah,
Okay, we're gonna put 1,000, I guess, is proposed, is everybody okay with that?
Sounds good.
all right.
All right, so that'd be 41.6. Oh, you're now at
So we're
91,000.
gonna name that hydrant maintenance / form.
I think the maintenance would be called mowing too, so.
That's what I would do, but that's not my problem.
page 6, she said,
Five.
page 5, I mean 5,
Cause mowing is part of maintenance,
under
right?
repair and maintenance.
Somewhere up here. Where was it?
Alright, so is that what you're doing, Tim? You're gonna read and title that hydrant maintenance?
Yep,
Page 5 of 6. Yeah.
so that
right
changes
here.
41.6 on that.
Hydrant repair, the hydrant repairs,
Okay, me.
yeah.
Brings our total 159,6183. Everything closer to the 8 that you wanted around 50.
I have a different number.
All you have to do is add 1,000.
We just add 1,000 to everything.
Oh, I did, but I think you and I have different numbers somewhere else. My colleague plus general comes to 1,674,683.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna do that. I was looking at part of it. What I have those two.
What is your number?
159,6183.
Say that way slower, please.
1,596,183.
1,8 what?
83.
We'll have to go back.
And we have a line item for, streetlights,
For
Just for
1,676,
Just for electricity.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
so what are you gonna do about keeping them on the repair?
So what did she do?
I don't think I put them, you put them on the capital.
Yeah, that could be a capital,
Capital for what? again?
because it is a capital item, and it is a structure like a bridge, like, yeah, it's a station.
16,000.
It's
Josh?
always gonna be there,
Huh?
it's always gonna be there, so.
Kim, did you change the paving now?
I did change the paving,
I did not.
I did,
Can we revisit that?
Yeah, we've already decided on that, either.
I just changed it due to conversation, so. I
Okay,
let you guys-
that's where our difference is, so that.
80,000 different.
You.
Well, we hadn't decided how,
I had to, so.
We were gonna talk about that.
we haven't decided the paving, so.
I don't think so, I
No,
thought.
we
brought
haven't.
it up meeting.
I think that's why I was invited here tonight.
No,
No, it was mostly the pavement and the wood come off. But
so do we wanna revisit the paving? The retreatment that we had
So we're gonna
thought
do that
at 200?
under other business today?
Well, we can.
Well, it's still part of the budget. We're still doing a
Yeah.
budget discussion.
Introduced it. Right, so that's this one. She's 1,200.
Okay, so what did you put in?
Well, we had talked about 2 when we were here last, but then we also talked about, within the office about maybe bringing it back down to 120. And we can go 2 years like we had been doing right along for the last 6 years. We wait every 2 years till we accumulate. So we take the money and we put it into the reserve and save up to do large projects and get it at a cheaper price.
Or we pay this year with the 120 plus the 32 from the ball.
If we were to do
Oh,
that.
right.
We're gonna log too. We're gonna get any money. Where does that money go?
you won't do that.
So if you're rolling out, you do this.
Well, we typically do every other year, we're gonna pay
Yeah.
this year.
Well, but it's,
Typically, we do every other.
And I think our paving's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But
And Out here's fine, I don't see a need to do any paving there. I don't see why we can't wait.
And don't we get a better price when you do a bigger project?
Yeah, that's, I think what we do every other year.
You take more money.
I mean, I think maybe the money can still be held for that, but it's just.
You may get a better price, but as the year goes by and the price goes up, so here's what. Which it did. This last year.
I think given all the increases we've already have in here, I think we need to not pay this year.
That doesn't affect it, eh?
But should we go down to 120?
Leave it at the money.
Leave it at 120.
This is looking bad if not, we're at 13% increase.
Because would that be the money, all the money from the bond that's left over that you put towards the pavement? Or are you gonna pay off?
They would
There
pay
is a
off the cost.
Oh, yeah, because it was, yeah, so we pay off the truck, that was 119, right? So that'll leave us 33,427.
As your 120, would give you 150.
50.
Now we pay for the town hall of Middletown, about 121, and the bad spot down with the farm.
And that's
You
in,
guys can do what you want, it's your.
but that's in, then that would be in this 26 budget.
Doesn't make more
Well, you
sense.
got Holtonville to do that,
Yeah.
bad out there, a couple spots that, in the springtime, it's like driving on.
I think that's worth them down over here.
Yes,
Well, we're not gonna pay you, we're talking the town hall up.
So if we took the 33,000, the 120 from this year and 120 next year, then. Do it.
What do you mean everything?
So you said there's a section we won't get if we did it this coming year.
well, I think. Eventually, we gotta go out and Holtonville to do
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, so include those ones.
So you're thinking 2020, we use the three. Well, 120,
40.
240,
290, 270.
270,000.
From Holton Mill to the Wyndham, is 277,000.
Holy crow.
So you're
And
not
that's
gonna
what
go
we'll have in 2 years.
But is that counting the spot that we redid in Holtonville after the flood?
No,
That's the jump in that, from Lisa to, from that down.
just what was it paid? So that's 277, but that takes you all down, you're not doing, it's these other things. This is all in this
Right.
thing I wrote up.
Yeah, I'm looking. 3.7 million for all the projects.
Yeah. If you don't keep getting after them, you're gonna get fatter and fatter behind. The towns are going to, eventually gonna break right up, because that was just. Like say shim,
Well, the other thing you can also do is instead of paying off the truck. Put it towards paving, since it's already built into the capital budget anyways for the next 5 years for that payment. But yeah, you're paying 5.3%, which is bonds only 3.8.
I don't know, it's up to you guys.
You'd be saving $12,000 if you paid the truck off early.
But we're gonna
Just
get rid of it in a
just over
couple
twelve.
years, right?
Well,
Like 4 years.
4 years.
yeah, that would be about the time we're done paying the lease. It'll be time for trading. So that's the other option, so you have that. That full one. Okay.
okay, then that affects the capital budget.
Well, you can't take paving out of capital, so what I'm saying is, you can't take paving out of capital. And instead of increasing the general. And paying on the tax.
I understand, but you're taking the money that you're gonna pay the truck out of the capital budget, you're paying that off. And if you don't pay it off, you're gonna use that. And so that's, whatever the payment is, $50,000,
Yeah,
that we've gotta keep in there. This way, if you paid it off, it would take it out of there.
and it can replace it to like go towards culverts or something like that.
But you've got other things to consider, we've gotta make up our mind on the grader. We're gonna make up our mind on the backhoe and the excavator.
It's all things that have been prolonged out more. Yeah,
There's a lot of things that involved in this, it's not one. We're gonna make some decisions on it.
Which is gonna save us more money.
and your budget's pretty high now, so.
I was gonna say, we're gonna go up to 15%, I mean, yikes.
As a taxpayer, not making
Yeah, we don't
whatever, it is quite even this year, so I can imagine what next year's tax is gonna be.
We don't know what school's gonna be.
Well, that too, I mean, just for me doing what I do, it hits a little hard, especially this year, seeing them jump up another $300 a quarter,
Yeah,
I mean. So,
I don't want it to go on.
well, we're gonna have to do it over. Do it as smartly as possible over the right amount of time, but.
So we're still talking about the paving, we're scaling that back to 120.
I don't know what to do.
I think, why don't we do that and then
We haven't,
figure out the other side.
we haven't decided what we're gonna do with first paying off the truck or not.
We don't have to figure that out right now, do we?
Probably by the time he has his, capital budget meeting, you might want to, so that he can allocate that money elsewhere. I mean,
Maybe the next-
you might have the next couple of weeks, you're gonna wanna be able to save and have, take that out of the capital and replace it. Designate it to something else, that's all. We don't have another payment due for another year on the truck,
Mhm.
so we've got time. But, Hardy, your answer.
But you have 4 or 5 other items in this little booklet that need to go in the capital budget and 10 or 20,000 applied to it each year. They just can't keep leaving it
Right,
not doing it.
so if the capital budget meeting. Well, we need to, obviously, we have libraries outstanding. The capital budget meeting, as you were saying, is not until halfway through November.
He said after the school.
Which is,
There's a deadline for the school, but all the school budgets. Before, he wants to get it all done by the end of November. This is a superintendent now. We have a budget meeting Thursday, the 23rd for the school,
I like it.
and they're hoping that by the next time we meet as a school board, it would be finalized. There's a finance committee next week. I go to that one, I'm part of that committee, and that's for all the schools, or the SU.
So I think we need to decide, like, the next meeting or something.
Yeah,
I'm ready to.
yeah,
But Hardy did mention, didn't he wanna keep it like it too, he doesn't really wanna increase the capital. He just wants to move stuff around. And
I don't
that's
think he
it.
wants to go over the 200.
Right,
No matter-
so no matter what, I mean,
Well, you can't keep level funded, and you have all these things that are going
well,
on.
if you take out the
And that's
truck.
what, well, that's what Danny, Mike, everybody said, and it keeps happening. You gotta pressure him to raise it, because otherwise you guys aren't getting the stuff fixed.
right.
Well, but
We're
you're
not.
spending your taxes because you have-
Well, I know, but if it was raised back, you know,
Well, there's nothing we can do about 5 years or ago, so here we are.
And lots gonna depend on if we're gonna have a school or not. You're gonna be in there paying tuition for those kids.
So the,
Will that cost us more or less?
Hmm.
Or no idea yet until that's in the research committee.
So,
well, it's pretty well given, we're not gonna have.
when we extended the grader another year, we were told that would be it. You know, we only extended it because we're gonna get into the computers, gonna go, that's gonna be $5,000 or more, and it's gonna cost more maintenance. So we decided we'd extend it a year, now that year is up. What are we gonna do?
Well, we just bought brand new tires and it's in great shape, so.
Well, that was a change from, tires didn't make a big change.
But until we can buy.
We also have the fire escape to consider too, because even though we have the 33,000 in the capital.
Mhm.
According to Maureen, that's not gonna be enough to finish our fire escape.
Waiting on that survey.
Sounds like we have a lot to talk about within the capital budget committee.
So this paving total was like 1.276 million.
Right. So you gotta keep pecking away at it, which we are doing.
Yeah,
So when would our next budget meeting be? After the capital meeting? And it can't be after the school board meeting, because you need stuff in the middle of,
No. Wait that long.
right, in the middle of this November.
I know nobody wants higher taxes, but we're gonna put a dent in this, we're gonna have to talk to them about it.
Well-
Yeah,
We can just temporarily, keep this like it is and just wait until he has his capital. I can tweak the numbers after we hear from the library, that's simple enough,
that's easy.
and then we'll plug in numbers or have a discussion with capital. But capital's not gonna affect this anyways,
Right,
other than whatever you guys might wanna add. Because of capital not, whatever.
But can't we decide, for instance, whether we're gonna pay for the truck out of the bond?
You guys can, and whenever, or you
I-
guys think about
Can we
it
make that
more.
decision?
I think that makes sense if it's.
Sure.
Okay.
so we put a, is that a motion?
Where we put the other 33.
Oh, we don't have to, we can leave it right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah,
I
we
think it
can do,
makes sense to pay off the truck.
we can do one half of it, one part of it.
Yeah. Is this something we should make a motion and vote on, or do we
Oh,
just,
definitely, yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna pay this, after this next payment of the, truck, you're gonna pay it off with the bond.
What's the payment each month?
In October, yeah.
Yeah, October is, when the payment is due, that payment is like 43,000.
Yeah, they should be able to pay it off anytime you want.
And so we can pay it off within the next year, it doesn't have to be, right away, but it's like 119. Somewhere around schedule. There it is. Payment is due on the 30th of this month of 43,609. Payoff is gonna be. Oh, wait a minute, payoff, no, 2025, here we go, like in the right line, and 119,394.14 would be the payoff. After
Hmm.
I make this payment. It's sitting in our AP pile right now.
But then the money that you're paying off will stay in the capital budget, right?
It's in the capital
So
right
you
now,
have that
I'm
either-
gonna pull it out.
Well, yes, but then there'll be the rest of that money that was supposed to go for that truck in the capital budget. too,
Right, it's already scheduled for like
So
5
you
years.
could use that maybe for the next truck, so you don't have to, or leave it in there for one of the other trucks with the
It's
grader.
under
or
one
something.
category, so we'll stay right there.
Alright, so you want a
Could
motion?
answer somebody.
Do you want to pay this off
we want, what,
after you
Okay.
pay that payment?
After we pay this payment within the month of October, I'll do it in November.
You
So
can
this-
do it all at once.
Is there any more discussion on this? Do you wanna make a motion? Somebody make a motion?
I don't do that.
Is everybody in agreement? Or any other discussion?
Can somebody just repeat what the motion would say?
We haven't done a motion yet.
I know. I just didn't need to know.
We will pay off the truck, what number is that? What, truck number one? With money from, excess money from the bond. After, the
October,
first payment is made on it.
after October 30th.
Going to the payment
Okay.
of 49,000 or whatever it was.
43,600.
What was it, 600?
43,609.15 is what we're gonna pay October 30th. And then after that. I'll make the payment of 119,394. And I wanna keep it separate because I'm gonna take the 43 from the capital,
So it's
and then the other will come from.
119, what, 34?
119,394.14 is. What our sheet says, we'll have to call for an exact, it might tweak because of per diem.
So that John has made the motion. I will second the motion.
All in favor,
Aye.
any opposed? Okay, motion's passed. You wanna read the motion again so we have it right? First
Me
time.
too. It was moved by John Gregory, seconded by Anna Keegan to pay off truck number one with the excess money from the bond after the October 30th payment of $43,609.15. Motion passed
You
unanimously.
should put in the total amount we're paying off of the one night.
The ones,
Well, I need to find out if it's a per diem or not.
so can you confirm that tomorrow?
Sometimes when you go like a couple days each
Mhm.
Yeah,
day,
each day will
so I
change
don't know
it.
if you wanna put the exact dollar amount.
Okay, truck number one.
Payoff will be completed after that.
So we're ready to vote? I'm ready.
We just did vote.
Discussion, are we ready to go to discussion about the purchase and removal of the wood on Chester Road? This week we made a motion, everybody agreed on that motion. And I don't see a reason why we have to change any of the motions, because we already made a motion.
Can I explain why I was confused after watching the meeting back and reading the minutes. I was just confused as to exactly what I was being asked to do. So if we could just revisit that really quickly, if you want to repeat what the intention was, I wanna be clear as to what I'm being asked to do.
There was nothing in the motion about,
Mhm.
it being on the website. And I don't remember, I asked Kathy about that, you said the website, but where the other people were gonna see it, it never got in the motion.
Right,
Right,
and also we were gonna post it out here or whatever.
And I don't think it's right that we ask two people.
No,
And we don't ask anybody else. I think we should maybe take a little more time on these motions and pick them out before we go voting on them, because
And this is just some junk wood you're trying to get rid of.
Who voted on the motion?
we all did.
All of them, so it's done.
it's done,
No.
it's a done deal.
not really.
It is.
I want-
It's done.
We had a motion 3 months ago. I made a motion that we instruct the selectmen to go pick the wood up and bring it up to the town shed. Nothing was done. It wasn't.
Who's the boss of the highway? You guys.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it done?
What wasn't done, so that's why we brought it up again. And then we got into another motion, which never should have happened. We should have gone with the other motion, just instruct Dave to go pick it up and take it up in town garage.
Well, I got a problem with bringing it to the town garage, and then we gotta handle it. If we wanna settle this, whatever, tonight. I don't mind going and getting the wood, but we can go dump it at someone's house. Whoever wants it, and be done with it. I don't see what the big deal is about this more.
Well, if you dump it at somebody's house, then somebody else gonna say, why did you do that? I want it.
Well, we've done that all the time for the last 5, 6 years, whoever wants the wood, we've dumped it at people's houses and instead of having it up to the town garage. Cause then it's another step for us to load it onto somebody else or someone coming to the garage. The only reason we did it with Don is because it's tight dumping in his yard and we were afraid of hitting his garage. So. I don't know, it's made a big deal over a little pile of wood that really is nothing and. And like I said, I got into this weren't me. This was before, so.
And we're spending a lot
And
of
it
time.
should have been at the board meeting, John, you should have really spoke up or said and voted no against it. Or whatever at that meeting. And it would have been a lot clearer.
Well, I brought up that we voted on that 3 months ago to do that,
I don't
and yet
remember
with
that.
no motion.
We didn't have.
Oh.
And if anybody,
Remember, you said we.
if anybody in the audience like yourself is see something wrong, should have spoke up too and said something. And so,
Well, I didn't think there was nothing wrong until I heard that there was gonna be another meeting about this stupid wood pile.
Yeah.
I just think if you do the first vote.
But I can go pick it up and I'll throw it right on the burn pile. And then no one will get it. What do you want done?
Well, that's what the selectmen instructed the road foreman to do.
Well, that was the previous road department, and I didn't know
Yeah.
that, so. This is where maybe the highway. Whatever on there should
Right.
come up and address the things in the past that were done or whatever.
I remember that we talked about the highway crew possibly picking up and taking up there. I don't remember talking about a previous vote.
Well, there should be minutes of that meeting from.
Yeah, I don't remember making a
Yeah,
motion.
I don't know that there was a big house and it was part of their.
We did talk about it, but there was no
It was
motion on it, it was just a discussion,
of
and I can
to be-
understand this past week. Everybody talking, I made some suggestions, Anna made suggestions. And
Well,
I can see why it was confusing for Morgan or even confusing for Wendy on those minutes. For that meeting, but she had a question. And I did say to Morgan, contact the two people that were interested if they still want it. If not, then put it out to bid. Because someone had said,
Or
well,
we could
let's,
just load it up and the
Right.
two people that are interested in, since we have in the past. Just dump it wherever. Tim's gotten some, Mike got some, I've gotten some, Don Dougal, I mean, we put some out to Robbie's, John got some. I mean, it's not a big deal. And if it goes to town garage, someone will come get it, but we gotta handle it again. It's a lot easier just to take it from wherever it is, if no one else wants it. And dump it and people can use it instead of having it up down there. If you've been up there, there's a big pile of stuff from. That the last power company brought in some extra stuff too. It's a mess up there, but. That'd be my solution to it.
I think it's a good solution.
I don't know what the rest of
I
the
don't
board
have-
wants to do, but. It'd be simple. We'll just be done with it then. I'll try to go up with the backhoe next week and I'll pick it up and take it to whoever.
You don't have trailer though.
So when you try to use the backhoe, it might be a little challenging, but.
Okay, what's the feeling of the board right now on Dave's suggestion? Get rid of, get the wood out of there, have it open for people to
There's
pick.
probably close to 3 single axle loads,
So three, say it again.
3 single axle loads, single axle,
Okay.
the little truck. It's easier to.
So
swing the
matter
wood
of
up with
business, just take it up there and say, if anyone wants it, they come get it. So we're not getting paid for it or doesn't.
No. Go dump it out.
I have-
People that
Wood that's
wanted
been
it,
sitting there for.
be a third load and dump it somewhere and.
Alright.
And if anybody else wants any wood, they can come ask, and when we cut more wood, we'll dump it at their houses.
Is that, we need to have a motion?
Is everybody spoken their piece? I can tell not everybody agrees.
I'm kind of done with this, it's a lot of time.
Seems like we're making it a little more complicated
Yeah.
than it's necessarily
Yeah.
needed.
I don't think that was the intention for sure.
Mhm.
Well, either here, that's just offer, just,
Yeah.
then no one will see the wood no more, it'll be gone and.
Alright, let's make a motion that the highway department picks up the wood and moves it up to the highway department.
No, not gonna move to the highway.
No, to move it to the,
Whoever wants, the 2 people that were asked about
That's
it,
first
then
interest.
there'll be another loads probably to go somewhere else, so
where will they pick it up?
It would be.
we'll go delivered it to their house.
Oh, okay.
And if anybody raises an issue about that, when there's future wood for the models.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make the motion, somebody else make the motion.
Alright. Make motion that the highway department pick up the wood at the cemetery land. Deliver it to the people that have expressed interest in the wood. If there is any other interested parties that expressed interest in the wood in the future, we will take their name. And note that we will consider them for any future options.
I think that's pretty fair.
I'll second it. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of that motion that was just made? Did you get it, Morgan?
Yes.
Do you wanna read it back?
To have the highway department pick up the wood at the cemetery land, deliver it to the people who expressed interest in it. And if there are other parties interested, we would take their name and consider them for future actions. Is that cover it?
Yep.
So,
Now I just need a vote.
All in favor of the motion that's just been read by Morgan?
Right,
Aye.
No,
Steve?
Yeah, I don't know, this is getting crazy.
it's getting crazier than it needs to be.
right,
it is.
so we're trying to resolve it.
Yes, three votes. Yes, three votes.
If a motion said, take it up to the town garage, I'd say yes.
Yeah, I think it should go there as well.
Alright, then
So,
what are you gonna do with it once it gets there?
But, yeah, and I guess that what is that more sense?
Because that's what it was.
We're all done here.
Gonna
We've got three votes. The motion's passed.
Right.
And thank you, Dave, for taking a lot of time out of your work and highway to do this. I appreciate it.
thank you for revisiting that. I know it was not ideal, but. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Any other business? Any other public comment? Next regular select board meeting is Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Wow.